Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. New is in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the spirit, kind of piggybacking on what I was going into earlier, doing the in transit. Title, I think I labeled it, the 2020 or the pandemic was nothing more but a pump fake. As we know, a jab step or a pump fake is to offset the defender so you can get a clear path to the hoop or to the goal or to the basket. And basically, Esau Edom is one step closer to achieving his new world order. Okay, as you have these new technocrats by the name of Elon Musk, which he's come from a technocracy. His family heavily involved in technocracy. And part of a global cabal, which this guy was set up by the elites right in front of your faces, man. And I've known for a fact that I think Elon Musk, I think I've heard about him. I didn't start hearing about Elon Musk to maybe like 2017, 2018, something like that. And I'm pretty sure he was talked about it in tech circles prior to then. But I started hearing about him when this whole Neuralink / Tesla ordeal was the talk of the town, and everybody was buying these electric vehicles. And I'm like, where in the hell did this guy come from? And to find out that he was part of apartheid, his family was part of the apartheid out there in parts of, I believe, South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, which a few years ago, that was an insurrection against those Edomites down there, because those Hamites, they wanted their land back, because just like Esau Edom do, he goes and he takes over nations, and he takes over by the violence of the sword. Okay, first, if he can't offer you his dollar and his pseudoscience, then before you know it, the military shows up, and then there's bloodshed. But basically, Elon Musk is set up through part-time means, which the same thing that happened to Gad happened to other nations as well, man. But you got this guy, Elon Musk, that's basically the head of the Department of Effigy, or efficiency, as they like to call, which is abbreviated as to Doge or DOGE, which goes back to ancient Rome, because the brother did some research on it. And basically, the Department of Efficiency, when it comes to spending and, tracking purchases and having the complete autonomy over people's affairs, Nero implemented a said system as well, which this makes sense that Trump is nothing but Nero back in the reincarnation. All right. But it says Doge visits the IRS, putting staffers on edge. Now you have these particular talking points among the common folks, I like to call them, about how Trump is making America great again, and he's bringing back autonomy back to the American people, and jobs are gonna increase, and we're gonna put money back in the taxpayers' pocket, and that's all good and dandy. It sounds good. There's two sexes, there's only two genders, men can't play in women's sports, vice versa. We're gonna bring back jobs to America. We're gonna put tariffs on these other countries because we want money back. We want to make our economy stronger. These are all talking points. That sounds good, but deep down inside, there's a bigger agenda at hand. Okay, while you people are divided on a basic level, arguing about what a man and a woman is, hey, these people getting ready to enslave you into a digital technocracy, man, and that's what all this shit is about. So the pump fake is, it says Doge visits the IRS, putting staffers on edge. Now when an average American see that, they're like, oh shit, finally there's some relief. I've been paying taxes out the ass, and it's to the point that every year you damn near owe freaking taxes, because what you find out what they were spending the money on, on transgender research on animals, wars, okay, building up smart cities, putting money in the pockets of elites, gay operas, you see what I'm saying, condoms, all types of wickedness that these devils have been taking our money and spending it on their own leisure. When you read something like this, it makes the average person hope, because this is to rock them back to sleep. Because why this is face value and why this is not a bad ordeal is literally like a blind punch, man. Okay, it's the punch you don't see coming, because in all, they're talking about investing money, $500 billion in something called Stargate, man. Okay, which is basically the setup of these beast systems, the digital systems that we're currently under. Okay, so I got a couple of videos I want to play, and of course we're gonna get the precepts here. But people, man, y'all ain't ready for what's getting ready to come, and I believe without a doubt that this administration will be the administration to bring in a mark of the beast, man. All right. So anyway, let me do this real quick, because I don't want to really be all over the place, because I have a lot of information. I want to kind of consolidate this down to at least a 30-minute video, but this can easily be a 6-part video. All right. But this is a new one, too. It says Trump's new DOGE begins to identify federal agencies for overhaul. Okay, meaning that they're cutting fundings to certain things. Like I believe he did. I believe that certain federal programs and certain federal departments are pretty much obsolete now, and he's giving them the option to buy out, or they can either buy out or choose to work in different departments, however they want to do it. But a lot of people, I think they said up to 3% opted in a buyout, which I'm not sure how much money they're paying people to leave their positions. But hey, let's just say they paid you out for 10, 15 years, a reasonable salary. Let's just say if you can make a couple of $100,000 within years after paying your salary, hey, that's not a bad idea. Okay, especially with the way today's economy is going. But even then, everybody's going to have to opt into this digital system, man. So it's all about ultimate control. Because when you read the comments, like I was watching a video yesterday and I got clips of it. But when I was watching this video here, when it says Trump and Elon Musk doubles down on Doge and cutting wasteful spending. So when you're listening to this video, he's basically telling you straightforward that, look, we're getting ready to opt you into a digital technocracy. But they're not paying attention, because basically he's going into cracking down on government spending, and he's using the people, and he's playing on the people's emotions by stating, well, look, man, we're going to take the taxpayers' money and we're going to invest it back in you people. But the average person should have said, fuck that. Out of all the money the government been stealing from us for over the last 4 years, we want reimbursement. Okay, out of the $200-something billion, even more than that, because they're literally taking taxpayers' money and they're sending it over to Ukraine and Israel and to fund forever wars and bio research and chemical research to create new juice to put in people. The average person should have said, you know what, nah, just give us our money back. All right, you need this, since you are the Department of Effort or Efficiency, whatever you want to call it, the DOGE. Since you're tracking all the spending and you want to know where the money is going, how about, since you have everybody in the database, because he's going to have pretty much unethical access to everybody's information, all right? And he's not even an elected official, which makes it that much more frightening, right? But I would have been like, look, man, you need to get a team together. All the money that y'all spent, that y'all stole, you need to reimburse every tax-paying citizen a lump sum of that money. And do what the fuck y'all want to do after that, man, All right. But anyway, let's get a preset real quick, then we get into some of these videos. Because like I said, I got to make this, I don't have to make it quick, but, I want to go ahead and I want to make it pretty not too long. I don't want to go more than an hour on this. I don't even want to go an hour, because I don't want to find myself repeating myself in loops. Sometimes that happens when you're trying to overthink points. So we're just gonna let the spirit flow. So this is Psalms 94, and matter of fact, we're gonna come back to that. I got Revelation 13 on deck as well. But matter of fact, let's come back to that too. Let's go to Psalms 58. And let's start at verses 2. It says, yea, in your heart ye work wickedness, and ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah, because this is a lie, bro. Okay, Esau is coming in the form of a serpent. Okay, because what's the concept of a serpent? Very subtle, very cunning. Okay, very charming. Okay, very deceitful. And we understand that Edom has learned the ancient arts from the because he studied history. Esau studies ancient cultures and ancient empires. Because remember, he was always there in some form or fashion. Esau Edom always was in the midst somewhere while we were being oppressed by the heathens, man. You know, like a spy. He's just like a stain on a fabric that you can't get out. He's just there. You know what I'm saying? Getting all this information and studying the history and knowing about the Israelites. And basically, in this last rulership of his, he's figured out how to conjure it up into one big witch's brew, man, and throw it at the people. And this is what's happening. That's what it says. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And it says, and that poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they are like the deaf adder that stop at thy ear. So you got people screaming left and right about giving freedom back to the American people. You know, give autonomy back to the American people. But yet they're acting like they're hearing it, but yet they're turning a blind eye to it because, hey, they got you where they want you, man. Okay, the 2020 ordeal was that was the pump fake. That was the calm before the storm. Okay, in a roundabout way, you had men like Kill Gates of Hell that had mentioned. He said, well, look, the next one, a lot of people will start dropping from it. Okay, because they expected a lot of people to die, which a lot of people did die from the juice. But even then, you know, this was nothing more but a model as to a bigger situation. As I always said, even then, when they clipped out our videos, which in fact, now he's giving so-called free speech back to the people, then why the fuck we can't get our pages back that he shut down? You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I've always said that was the calm before the storm. That was the test run. Okay, the whole See Icky Vicky was just a test run to put you into a digital technocracy, which a lot of you have that such and such inside you already, which you are already halfway completed. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're building up smart cities and changing algorithms. And this is why AI governs everything. AI is literally getting ready to govern your life. Okay, to the point when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have AI basically leading you on what to do in your life, man. Like if y'all saw that movie called Upgrade, and there's another movie called Implanted, when this chick, she had basically a digital chip in her brain, and she had to do what it told her to do, or it will torture her ass, man. Okay, and you people, you don't even see it coming because you're so fascinated with this whole, oh yeah, we're gonna make America great again. And a lot of people are screaming for Trump to be impeached. He's only been in office 3 weeks, and they're already saying, get this dude out of here. Okay, and Elon Musk, he said it. He said, well, look, he didn't deny it, and I'm gonna play the part of the video, but he didn't deny it. He said that they accuse you of being like a government takeover. You know what I'm saying? And then he didn't deny. He basically came out and said, well, government reform. And we're going to look up what reform means, all right? Government reform. Because that's another way of saying, well, shit, you got what you voted for. We are going to take you over. Just not the way that you think. All right? So anyway, this is a clip from Richie from Boston, which he puts out good videos, by the way. But it's like a 6-minute clip from Richie from Boston. And we going to go into it. Matter of fact, let's do this video first with Elon. This is the video they brought out yesterday. So let's look into this and see what it says. Hold on. Where's the fucking volume at? Salaki, I can't find the volume button on here. That's wild. Hold up. Let me see. Give me 1 second, Akia, man. This shit tripping. There should be a volume button on here that I can hear it. But see, that's Satan, man. He's already trying to offset the lesson. Okay, there it go.
In a more useful way.
Tripping.
So, anyway, so I think, that's an example. Like at a high level, if you say, like, how do we increase prosperity? Is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. Everyone's very quiet, by the way. So are people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
States in a more useful. So,
Okay, so it's kind of confusing because I have all this stuff. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let me do this because I'm kind of confusing myself, man. I can't see with that blue. There it go. All right, so you heard what he said. He says, I have detractors, right? So you see how he was playing that stupid role like, oh my God, how can anybody come against me? I gave you Twitter. I've gave you free speech. I've gave you this and that. I've allowed you to voice your opinions. Yeah, that was all good and dandy. That's what they played you people off of, man. Because we found out that it's an app that this guy have bought into called, I think, Everything or something like that. And basically, he's partnered with MasterCard, Visa, you know, to link you up into this digital system because now social media eventually will require you to have biometrics and pay encryption in order to use the services, man, so they can monitor and track everything you talk about. Okay, no coincidence that it's an app called, I believe, Everything or some wickedness like that he has contracted up, and now he has contracts with Visa, MasterCard, and all your major payment systems. Like I said before, I said that, look, the reason why they allow Elon Musk to buy Twitter is because for the simple fact they want to put you people in a database so they can understand all the talking points on who's going to come against this technocracy, man. Okay, same thing with the whole contact tracing, and they were shutting down videos, and, you know, they was already planning to see who's who. That way they can digitally survey everybody. So they're cutting out certain departments, certain forces, certain work positions, and everything is going to be led through computers and algorithms, man. Okay, and that's the time we living in. Hence Revelation 12 and 12. All right. So anyway, let me fast forward a little bit. Come on, man. Go here.
that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal.
And that's the sell point.
Everyone's very quiet, by the way. So are people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House. We won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that
You heard what he said, right? He said people going to get what they voted for. See, that's the sales pitch, right? That's how they got you. Because you notice he didn't deny it when he mentioned that this is a government takeover, but government reform. And pay attention to his hands, man. All right? Look at this man's hands. Look at how he's standing. That's him pledging his allegiance to the elites, man, to the global cabal, a.k.a. the Illuminati, so-called Illuminati, the enlightened ones. You see what he's doing. And he's wearing black. Black is a witch's color, man. Now, that's not to say because you wear black, you're a witch, but overall, we know what he represents. All right, so let's do this real quick, and we'll come back to that point, because all this here is nothing more but it's a diversionary tactic. Okay, this is basically what they're doing in mainstream, but deep down inside, it's to rock you people to sleep. All right, let's do this. Let's go, because I'm gonna get into those articles too, not in this lesson, but in a different lesson, because that's actually good for another lesson. But let's look this up real quick. Government reform, meaning it says here, the federal government reforms laws and regulation as needed. It says they do this by creating new legislation and implementation of rules and legislation. And the new implementation that's going to go in law is this digital system. Okay, they're going to phase out money. They're already doing it with the coins. They're gonna do it with the pennies. What they already doing with the pennies, they're gonna do it with the nickels, the quarters, the dimes. They're slowly phasing out cash, like they did in parts of Europe, even in the UK. I don't even believe they have ATMs out there anymore. Okay, but just to show you people right here that they're phasing this way of life out, like Charles Schwab said. He said, "Look, we are in a global reset, so expect more cyber attacks, power outages, T attacks. You know what I'm saying? So-called war on terror. You know, all this other stuff, man. People crashing out, planes falling out of the sky, just to be justified on adding AI to merging this system, man, with machine. Okay, the movie Terminator, the movie The Matrix, it all foretells this event. Okay, so you notice he never denied it. He never denied doing a hostile takeover, and they say he's not even being transparent, meaning that he's basically being deceitful, as we just read in Psalms the 58th chapter, man. Okay, they go astray from the womb speaking lies, all right, because they're telling you one thing, but there's a different meaning behind what they're doing. Okay, governance reform. It says, it says the governance reform entails the transformation of administration of government from traditional bureaucratic models to being developmentally it says marginally in service-oriented administration with the emphasis on good governance and service deliveries, man. All right. Now, he mentioned bureaucracies, all right, which goes into these, what do you call, these government bodies. They call them, it's another way they call them something bodies. I forgot what they call them, but like your health departments and your hospitals, and not governing bodies, but it's something called something bodies. I can't recall the name of it. But, you know, a lot of these state agencies and city agencies and federal agencies, people look at them as institutions of oppression. So their talking points is, well, we're going to do away with a lot of that, and we're going to basically put power in your hand. But it's all lies and bullshit, because when you're implementing into this system, as we know, Trump have sent billions of dollars overseas already, all right, to his partners and his billionaire buddies. They're literally trillionaires now, man. Okay, 100 billionaires, to say the least. But long story short, they're getting ready to trap people into this global system, hence the MOTB, and they basically gonna tell you it. But yet you still got Israelites out there that's still playing games. They're still negating the prophecy. They're not paying attention. They're too fascinated in themselves and their brand and their podcast mics. But when this whole thing come to pass, watch how a lot of these guys try to shift paradigm and act like they was talking about this and get into prophecy, man. Okay, because believe it or not, the likings of Candace Owens, Richie from Boston, a lot of these guys, man, you know, what's her name? Whitney Webb, Redacted. A lot of them watch our videos and they get information from our videos, because one guy even mentioned it. He said that, look, this is basically the digital Tower of Babel. Okay, when you go into the book of Genesis, the 10th chapter, when it goes into the Tower of Babel, when the whole nation and the whole world became under one agreement, one authority, the New World Order. Hence what they're setting up. This is the paradigm for the New World Order model, man. All right. So let's go here, because I actually peeped this. Look at this. Let's go. Let's rewind it here. Let's go back.
Campaign, the president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to...
Start back here.
Won the House, who won the Senate.
He's deflecting.
You couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public.
You notice that he shifted back into the public. What is a mandate? You know what I'm saying? Something that they make mandatory, something that you have to do. Now he's saying that the public had power over what happens, but if the public had power over the way that the world is going, then they wouldn't be complaining about hundreds of trillions of dollars or billions of dollars of taxpayers' money going into these uses-based programs like transgender research and military men, sex changes, you know what I'm saying? Millions of dollars in research, you know, funding new pandemics and biolabs and all this other stuff, funding wars, billions of dollars in weapons on this side, and you giving billions of dollars to no, man. Okay.
Public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
Trump.
And a lot of times that, people that don't get what they voted for, states
Oh, come on, bro.
voted for. But in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, our actions, we post states.
Now, you saw how his hands were standing, right? You see? Why is he standing like that if it wasn't part of some type of satanic agenda, man? Because these men are complete Satanists. All right, they don't have your best interest. Definitely not the Negro, Latino, or Native American, which that's who we're concerned with. All right, so this is the book of Proverbs 6 and 12. And it says, a naughty person, a wicked man walketh with the forward mouth. And he is being forward. I mean, when I show you the videos of Swab and Yuval Noah Harari, or Noah Yuval Harari, which are both Amalekites, by the way, which I believe that dude Swab is actually like a Rothschild or some shit, man. All right, he's like a lower level luminary, but nonetheless, he goes back into the elites from the WEF. But they're telling you straightforward that humans are hackable, okay, and that your freedoms and that your so-called independence or whatever you want to call it, or your free will, that shit is going out the window. They're not dealing with it anymore. Okay, if you want to opt into this system, you're going to have to play ball with this microchip. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. And they're this close to fulfilling it, according to the scriptures. But it says, a naughty person and a wicked man walketh with the forward mouth. Okay. And a forward person is somebody that's direct. Okay. Pretty transparent. As they say that he's not doing it without he's not lacking transparency. He's straightforward. It says he winketh with his eyes and speaketh with his feet, and he teacheth with his fingers. Yeah, man. Okay. Going back into these Masonic gestures that he's doing with his hands. That's why I zoomed in on it, man, because this is a telltale sign that this guy ain't right. Why everybody think that, and a lot of people wasn't really fucking with Elon like that anyway. You know, he talks smooth. He sounds all, erratic. And, he sounds like he's just this nice, this helpful and this caring guy. But this guy's a damn devil, man. All right. And he's doing the bidding of the elites, man. And people are questioning whether him or Trump is the president of the United States, man. Because clearly Mike Pence ain't making no noise. Because this is a DJ Trump show and a DJ and Elon Musk show, man. Okay? And he's doing all the talking because they're like, wait a minute, why the fuck does an unelected official have access to our records, man? And this is why different judges are extending restriction orders on them accessing the Department of Treasury's website. Like they're trying to go after the IRS now, which they probably not, but that's a face value. And they can put out these articles to make people think that they're doing something, but ain't nothing getting done, man. Okay, you really think they're gonna fucking penalize, or you really think they're gonna prosecute the IRS when they the ones that set them up and fund them? No, man. You think they're getting ready to do away with some fucking child support? You think they're gonna incriminate all those? Come on, man. You think they didn't know that these people were stealing from the people? Okay, the American system was built on slavery, okay, and extortion. They've been knowing that the IRS was corrupt. They've been knowing that billions of dollars was sent over to fund genetic research and to, put money into these political woke programs. They knew it already, man. This ain't no shock to them because they was even doing it themselves. Okay, this is just another come in and I'm gonna play savior type ordeal because they want you people to believe that the left and screwed up so bad to the point that the right hand got to come in and fix it. Okay, it's the ultimate game of chess. And you people are stupid as hell. If you read the comments of this video, people are literally shouting for joy, not even knowing that they're getting ready to go into a digital slavery. And if you don't opt into it, they're going to put you to death. Or you ain't going to be able to live or whatever. All right? And it says here, the forwardness in his heart, and he devises mischief continually, and he soweth discord. Because this has the people divided, man. Okay, going back into the Biden administration, the Kamala administration, people have been divided over these political parties. And we've seen the worstest division between Democrats and Republicans this last administration, bro. I mean, they totally came in and fucked shit all the way up to the point people don't know who to believe anymore. All right, and people are waking up to the madness. And it says here, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, and suddenly he shall be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, a 7 are abomination to him. A proud look and a lying tongue and a hand that are shit. It says, damn, Let me go down. It says a proud look and a lying tongue and hands that shed innocent blood, man. Okay? And this devil is getting ready to shed a lot of our people's blood, man. Under the guisemanship of, oh, we're trying to help and build back better. All right? So anyway, let's get the next video real quick. And we'll continue to go. This is Richie from Boston.
You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable to me that these guys want to turn Gaza Strip into luxury condos so bad and completely eradicate these people. I showed you the pictures last time. It's absolutely brutal what's happening in Gaza. And again, 45% of the people that are getting smoked, wiped off the face of the earth.
Let me fast forward just because when they show them kids and stuff, I don't want them. Yeah, there we go.
What Trump's doing. That's his. You don't hear Trump saying one thing about food prices, gasoline prices, rent, people that are losing.
Absolutely. He's not saying anything about those things. And that's the fact. That's what people was crying about. They was crying about being able to live, being able to afford housing, being able to afford food. I just left the store maybe an hour and a half ago, and I paid $6 for a fucking carton of eggs, and they weren't even organic shit. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't even organic, and it ain't too much that I eat that ain't organic. They weren't even organic. They was the regular shits, bro. $6 for a fucking carton of eggs. That was straight trash. And this is what people is crying about, but he's not addressing it. And he came out some time ago and mentioned that he don't know if he can get the prices down. And on top of that, inflation then went up 2 or 3%. And it's getting ready to go up even more because, hey, when he puts tariffs on these other nations and they retaliate because they don't need the dollar, the other nations can work autonomous outside of the dollar. But the only thing that's holding up is the fact that the dollar is the reserve currency. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, those tariffs is going to come back and it's going to bite the people in the ass. And guess who's going to have to front the bill? The taxpayers, like we do. Okay? It's not their job like Elon Musk said. He said, oh, well, you know, we want people to live better. No, man. Okay? Because honestly speaking, Bill Gates said it. He said that, look, outside of AI, we don't need you play sport. We don't want to watch computer play ping pong or basketball. They don't want to watch computers do that. Okay? They need you people for that. But other than that, they don't need you people. Okay? Because all the jobs can be completely autonomous now. Automation, you know, they can take over. They can have digital nurses. They don't need you women for that. So they really don't need us. So what that tells you, you know. But other than that, there's always going to be a working class, because if there's no working class, then who's going to front the elites? Who's going to make them rich? So the job is to never ease the burden of debt on you people. It was to actually put the squeeze on you so they can opt you into a prison, man. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. Okay, it ain't about making it easy for you. You think rent getting ready to go down? No. Okay, rent has been here in Kansas City for the last 3 years, roughly flatted out at $1,500, $1,600, man. And I'm talking about for some weak ass apartments. And you had this clown ass dude by the name of Mayor Quentin Lucas, and you got these stupid niggas out here that just think he's just doing such a magnificent job. They say only 10% of the people in Kansas City are making enough money to live substantially, while the rest of the people are literally floating to get by, man. You know, trying to get by. And he said that, oh, we've built up 300 affordable housing. And I looked that shit up. $1,500 a month is not affordable housing for a Kansas City salary, bro. Like, if you ain't like in the tech field or you're not like a judge or a lawyer here, then you're literally living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like that app Redfin, I believe, they mentioned that even Moab was like, y'all ain't nothing but a third world country and a fucking Louis Vuitton belt. That's all you are. It is true, man. America has really become a third world country. Like the homeless population over here is ridiculous. You see? But nonetheless, it was never the plan of the elites to get you people out of a hurtful situation. In fact, they're getting ready to put more of a burden on you, man. So you can come into this digital system. Then they're going to do away with you anyway. So
their homes to the banks. Government is supposed to protect you from the banks taking advantage of you. And instead, the government is taking advantage of you. Government is to protect people from corporations, banks, and other countries invading our borders. And yet we just found out that they've spent, I told you they did this, hundreds of millions of dollars flying immigrants in and then putting them up at hotels. And now you've got Doge coming out, and people are like, Doge is exposing everything. Doge is a distraction to keep you busy while Trump keeps signing things that are absolutely anti-American and are going to kill you in the long run.
Exactly, man. And that's what I'm saying. It was nothing more but a distraction. Okay. So it says here, 17, a proud look and a lying tongue and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren, man. And that's ultimately what Esau was doing. Okay, because hey, he's coming off like he's just trying to help the public and the people. Oh, we're gonna make sure you ease a burden. That's bullshit. It ain't nothing for them to get the cost of food down, bro. Like, they're spending billions of dollars on building smart cities, man. Okay, they're sending billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine. All right, they're talking about giving you, I think Russia and Russia and America. Allegedly, Putin and Trump has some type of peace deal on the table, which that's gonna go sour, because the scriptures say that the wicked should never know any peace. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, the scriptures say there should be no peace unto the wicked. So they can scrap that deal. It's impossible for Esau to understand peace. Okay, because that's not in his spirit. Okay, he's a warmonger. He's the devil. And the devil don't bring peace but confusion. So overall, with this dude, to get the price of food down and eggs and water and just give people just some basic breathing room, that's a light thing for him to do. But he's not getting ready to do it because he wants the ultimate control. All right. And it says here, let's go from here to the book of, let's go here. Got another precept real quick. Psalms 94. And I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 20. It says, should the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Okay. And that law that's coming, that they're going to opt into this system, is to take the MOTB, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. And that's when a lot of you dudes are going to get shooken up and say, man, damn, GMS was right. Well, we know we were right because the scriptures say, the scriptures say what it is. It's not a hard thing to understand. Okay, it's more than just putting a chip in you, but this chip is going to revolve around a whole different lifestyle, man. All right, to the point they're going to phase out cash. They're going to phase out the actual smartphone, to the point you will become the smartphone. Okay, this is why they have all this Apple Vision Pro and all this metaverse. And find out with this new GTA 6, they spent $2 billion to make a freaking video game. I mean, that's a higher budget than any Hollywood movie. And they said that they anticipated to make that back within a couple of days because the sales in GTA is going to be out the roof. But they said that the reason why they spent so much money on GTA 6 is not because of the updates and the perks and the gameplay. They said, no, it's going to revolve around this AI metaverse shit. And I've always said, like, if they put GTA in the metaverse, that's all Esau need to do to get niggas to crash out among themselves, man. All right. And I was thinking, I'm like, that GTA 6 shit, that shit is going to be on some whole different AI level because there's going to be upgrades to it, man. That ain't going to be a normal game. That's a whole side within itself. So, hey, let's see what comes of it. But it says here, should the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that's a question. It says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. And this is really to take that blessing away from Jacob. Okay, this is Esau's left hand version of the kingdom of heaven, which is nothing but the kingdom of hell on earth. Okay, with this AI being a tainted version of the Heavenly Father, which AI and the Heavenly Father you can't compare AI to the Heavenly Father. But in his wicked mind, his carnal mind, he feels like AI can replace the Most High. And that guy, Noah Yuval Harari, basically stated that. He said, look, we don't need a power in the sky. In a roundabout way, he was basically saying, like, look, we've passed that. That shit is outdated. We got something better than God. And that's basically what he was saying. Okay, that's a proud man right there. And it says, but the Lord is my defense and my power and the rock of my refuge. And he should bring upon them their own iniquity and should cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our power should cut them off. So your NWO would not be successful, E. Okay, because by the time you get it up and running, Yahweh Shai is going to be coming back, man, to deliver the hopeful elect. All right, because hey, this is gonna lead to war. It's gonna lead to all types of chaos. It's gonna lead to insurrections, because people are catching on to it now, and they like, wait a minute, something ain't right about this Elon. Something ain't right about this Trump and this Elon Musk dude, man. Because Trump is not delivering on the promises which he said. Okay, just because you stop transgender research and you ban trannies from getting in the military and investigating the IRS and giving people buyouts to lead the federal government to save money, you're doing it for your own belly, man. But that money is not going to go back in the hands of the people. All right, and people are going to revolt against that shit. Watch.
And why would I even talk about the mark? Well, because of this.
What's the sense in the penny? It's the debate resurfacing yet again in D.C. President Trump posting on Truth Social saying he's directing the Treasury to stop minting new pennies because they cost more than a cent to make. So is the move penny wise or pound foolish? People have been trying to get rid of the copper coins, now mostly made of zinc, by the way, for decades. That's because it costs a pretty penny to make a penny. Trump isn't the first president to consider axing the coin. President Obama floated scrapping the penny 12 years ago.
Anytime we're spending more money on something that people don't actually use, that's an example of something we should probably change.
But the administration wasn't able to execute on the cuts.
You just get all these objections. What happens to Lincoln's face that is on this? What about the states we're buying the copper from? How do they update the cash registers? And I confess, and I'm not proud of it, that eventually I just got worn down.
Nowadays, the U.S. Mint says making each penny costs more than 3.5 cents, and that when you add them all up, it equals a more than $85 million loss for the federal government in 2024. Other countries have already rid themselves of their pennies. Canada discontinued theirs more than a decade ago. Australia and New Zealand nixed theirs back in the 90s. Some are passionate about their pennies. The pro-penny group, Americans for Common Sense, yes.
That building looked like one of those Roman Colosseums. Like almost kind of like built like the Roman Colosseums, and when you go into like the Tower of Babel, all this shit goes back into Babylon, ancient Babylon. You know what I'm saying? The Tower of Babel. It all goes back into those ancient kingdoms, and this is why the scripture said that there's nothing new under the sun. All right.
With a C, is run by Mark Weller, a lobbyist for the zinc industry. Its website cites reasons for seeing the other side of the coin, pointing out the penny's usefulness in charity donations and concerns that losing the 1 cent coin would cause merchants to round up to the nearest nickel, raising prices on consumers who pay with cash.
The trend in other countries suggested to us that it would be a good idea to get rid of the penny, that it just was not at all necessary. Lots of countries do without them and do just fine.
So here you go. Donald Trump has everybody behind them because Doge is completely distracting everybody. They're pulling up ridiculous things like hamsters on steroids wrestling. They're studying hamsters on steroids wrestling. This isn't real. These things aren't real. They're not showing you the real deal. They're showing you some atrocious things to get people absolutely, completely outraged. But
because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on.
USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India.
$6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq,
$70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland,
$4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan,
$122 million of that to groups aligned with foreign terrorist organizations.
A foreign terrorist organization. Like, motherfucker, this ain't a secret. And this is what I'm saying. They've already known that. They're just telling you people this because they want you. And this is how they play on the American people's mind to show you how stupid they believe you are. They know you people are stupid because they really think you're eating this shit up, when in fact, they've been knowing this all along. Okay, they've been knowing this all along. This ain't nothing new. They just been playing with you people because now you have the talking points. Oh, well, damn, they're doing something for us. They've been taking money from you people, man. Okay, this man is the devil that the Bible talks about, and I don't know how long. Sometimes we got to stress that shit to you idiots out there. All right, this is the book of Psalms. What is it, 49? And let's start at. Matter of fact, nope. Let's do this. Psalms 50 and. Let's start at verses 19. It says, thou givest thy mouth to do evil and thy tongue framing deceit, man. Yeah, it's all lies. And it says, and thou citizen speakest against thy brothers and slanderest thy mother's own son. But these things that thou hast done, I've kept. Matter of fact, 20 is good. It says, thou citizen speakest against thy brother, and thou slanderest thy own mother's son. Yeah, because like I said, at the end of the day, this is all to flush out anybody that speaks against the system, starting with us first. All right. Psalms 55 and let's start at verses 20. Matter of fact, 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Yeah, Elon Musk ain't got to come to you screaming and shouting and foaming at the mouth. Okay, he could just basically talk as the devil as he is and make it sound good, and he can just be politically correct, and you people are gonna eat it up, man. All right, but a lot of people are like, nah, fuck that. This nigga don't sound right. It don't make sense. Why is he even over a department that he wasn't even voted in? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a voted official. So people are like, wait a minute, that don't even make sense, man. So people are not dealing with that. But nonetheless, hey, they never cared about you people's opinion. So they gonna do what the hell they want to do. All right.
Colombia, $2 million for sex changes. In
And this is to get you people roused up.
Guatemala, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap.
I'm going to show you this right now. Get your money out of the bank. And I'm going to show you right after this exactly why. It's worse than the digital dollar, what I'm going to show you. But get your money out of the bank. Turn your 401k or your IRA, or at least half of them, into gold and silver. And when you do this, make sure you don't just get gold ounces or gold plates or gold. Get gold quarters, gold dimes, gold nickels, smaller denominations so that you can trade. Because if you plan on remaining till the end, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get the mark or not. You know what I mean? These guys know exactly what they're doing, and Trump is literally doing it, and he will have the backing, unlike everybody else. Obama couldn't get away with it. Do you remember the minute that they pulled the pandemic, the first thing they tried to push through Congress? We're in a worldwide lockdown. The entire country is locked down. Nobody goes to work. Nobody goes to school. Nobody does anything. Worldwide pandemic. Quickly, they tried to push the digital dollar through. You remember that? And it didn't pass. But now, with Trump's support, it will absolutely pass. And as soon as they get rid of the penny, they're going to say get rid of the nickel, because making the nickel and the dime and the quarter costs more than making the penny. Because I told you this. I've told you this for years. None of them they used to be made out of copper. Copper, nickel, silver, and gold. Now they're made out of zinc, and zinc. That's it. They're worthless. They took everything of value out of this country, and right now, you're going to see exactly why. You know what I'm saying? Get your money out of the bank. I can't stress this enough. And when you do get your money out of the bank, and when you tell them what you want, get smaller in the country. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable to me that these guys want to turn Gaza Strip into luxury condos so bad and completely eradicate.
And that's the point, man. All right. And getting your money out the bank ain't going to mean nothing, because even though people are going to have a bartering system, at the end of the day, the actual legal tender will be the RFID chip. So you can take your dollars out the bank and may do some local shops, but eventually you ain't going to be able to wiggle around this system too much longer, bro. All right, that's just the time we in. This devil he's got shit sold up. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna play this last video, and I'll get a couple more precepts, and that'll be that. All right, so this is from the one that can see, because this is a damn good video. So I'm gonna play like a couple of minutes of this and interject here and there, and that'll be that. So here we go.
With Project Stargate and the AI healthcare system.
Larry, you talked about what can come out of this as far as healthcare and other things. People are starting to get their head around AI, but not fully.
Well, when you go to the hospital these days, if you're using a modern system, using a modern system, the doctor will get a little note written by AI describing what the purpose of the appointment, and then that note will have your latest lab tests and your. So the doctor's prepared when they meet with the patient. The AI will actually listen to the conversation between the doctor and the patient and make recommendations and improve the likelihood.
Yeah, that's that demon Larry Ellison, man. Okay, he's basically telling you what they're getting ready to do. Okay, he's telling you straightforward. All right, now he's making it sound pretty because you know the average, and this buys into that that MAHA, Make America Healthy Again bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When they're coming under disguisemanship that they're actually trying to heal people, but really they're not. Okay, we'll find out that these, matter of fact, that's what I forgot to do. Peep this. These technocrats, this is what they're about. Okay. It says, did you know that USAID, using your tax dollars, funded bioweapon research, including the you-know-what that killed millions of people? But in the same breath, this is the same devil that said this. Elon Musk, it says, as a reminder, I'm in favor of universal basic income. Remember he said that? UBI, right? The digital system. And it says, to be clear, I do support such and such, in general, in such and such, specifically. It says the science is unequivocal. Okay? But he just said here in the other post that he's basically saying that they killed millions of people. But he's saying that he agrees with the whole, you know what? All right? That's that forked tongue, man. He's double-minded. And it says, creating a natural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines. Merging man with machine. All right? Here on the left, Cotton Swab, which they call his ass a James Bond villain, which I don't disagree. It says, why carbon tax is crucial to curbing climate change. Cutting down trees and all this other fucked up weather. The machine, you know, it's crazy. It says 4 reasons cities should embrace universal basic income. And he's in agreement with this devil. It says 3 tactics to overcome C19 VACCINE hesitancy. And Musk agreed with that. It says, would you let your employer implant a microchip in your hand these workers have? This is Schwab saying it, bro. Okay? But yet Elon Musk on the right, he agrees with this sentiment. So they are in tandem. They are in league, man. All these world leaders are on deck with this ordeal. It's just you people don't see it because you're so glued to your damn phones all day. You know? But anyway,
likelihood that the patient's going to get a high quality of care. It's easier for the doctor. It's better outcomes for the patient. It's really a revolution in medicine, but it's a revolution in many other industries as well. Medicine just touches us all.
Larry, why on this day one do you think you decided to do this? I assume you've been working on it for a long time.
We have been working on it for a long time. The first data centers are actually under construction in Texas already, and we'll be turning them over to Sam to start training their next model. The data center we already built, it was the largest computer ever built. The data center we're building will surpass it and be the largest computer ever built, which enables this AI, which will allow personalized medicine. This is going to touch all of us. Yes, it takes a huge investment, but the result of the investment will be vaccines that prevent cancers, personalized medicine, where we never again run into a problem like COVID-19 before, because we get an early warning. We know when COVID starts, when there are a handful of patients, rather than having to wait until it's become an epidemic and very difficult to control. This is a very large investment that affects all.
And fair use, by the way. This is not promoting any type of not making any money off this. I'm not promoting any type of healing or anything like that. This is just fair use. We're not making money off this video. It's just to inform a community unto world events according to Bible prophecy. So fair use.
Of humanity.
Can I ask the three of you just really quickly to get a sense of where you see the economy? There seems to be this optimism, or like the yoke is being released as far as regulation and business to flourish. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment? How do you see it?
I think so.
This is the beginning of golden age.
So again, the majority of people only heard what you heard in the first clip and aren't able to grasp anything that he's actually saying. When he's talking about AI listening to you, that this is going to change healthcare, that's just to eat you into accepting. But eventually what you'll find out is that in addition to these personalized vaccines, which will edit your DNA and change what you are and change who you are, as they've told us over and over again, he mentioned early warning signs, right? He said things like, well, because of what happened with COVID, early warning signs this time around with AI will be able to detect this and we'll be able to stop the spread.
And that's exactly why they are pushing that shit, because, hey, remember Trump was talking about the M to the N to the R to the A, that they're on board with that. And people were so taken back by the first ordeal to the point that they're going to blatantly allow this because now it's being under the form of a savior. Okay? Let's go here. Let's go to Job. What is it? Job 14, maybe Job 14. Nope, Job 3:13. I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, but ye are all forgers of lies. Ye are physicians of no value. It's all based on witchcraft. It's all a lie. Okay? They're giving you soft talking points, as we just read in the book of Psalms, the 49th chapter, the 55th chapter, that his words were smoother than butter. Yeah, it sounds good, but they have a nefarious agenda behind, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's get another precept. Not Proverbs, but the book of Psalms 64. And this is a go-to scripture because it explains what they're doing. But it says Psalm 64, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who is the perfect? The you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites. It says, and suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. Yeah, because, once I play the rest of this video, is going to make perfect sense as to what these elites are doing, what these devils are doing. And it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. This is evil as all hell, man. Just to get world control, just to govern people, with the iron fist. That's wickedness, man. And it says here that they encourage themselves in an evil matter, and they lay commune of laying snares privately, and they say, who shall see them? And the crazy part about it is that they're putting it out there, but people still don't see it. So it's not a matter of them hiding on the rock anymore. They're out there in the open. It's just people are so brain dead to the point they don't even put two and two together. And the ones that do put two and two together were written off as being crazy people, conspiracy nuts, as some Israelites are. Conspiracy nuts. But we're going to see how much of a conspiracy this is when they start rolling on people and doing away with them. All right?
So you sit there and you think, so, well, how would it be able to detect it? Well, they're talking about detecting it because they will be under your skin. If you didn't notice, when they were pushing COVID, they were pushing under the skin surveillance. Taking your temperature everywhere you went, making you contact trace. Remember that? With your phones, who you're near, telling you who's by you, who might have been in contact with somebody who had it before. And then you might have to quarantine because you went to Chuck E. Cheese and somebody at Chuck E. Cheese brushed a shoulder with somebody who might have been affected, and so on and so forth. This under the skin surveillance spread and became normal, and standing 6 feet apart, etc. I'm going to play for you these clips that explain exactly what they're doing with AI healthcare. This goes back to Yuval Harari. It goes back to the World Economic Forum.
And he's a complete demon, man. All right? He's bold with it. He don't give a fuck. All right?
Them telling you openly. Imagine if these people were able to be under your skin. They can detect diseases, sure. But how about being able to detect emotions? How about being able to detect through the television how you're feeling when you're hearing certain news reported? It's about monitoring and full-on surveillance of every single thing that's going on under your skin. How do you think that this stuff is going to happen without artificial intelligence? They'll ease you in by saying that AI could save lives. A doctor misdiagnosed someone, but thankfully AI was in the room. And the AI recorded the whole conversation and gave its own analysis, which was different than the human doctor. And guess what? The AI detected something that the human doctor didn't. And because of the AI, this person had their life saved. They would have died in a few weeks because they were misdiagnosed. But AI doesn't miss diagnoses, right? People say, that's great, that's wonderful. They'll keep hearing propaganda like that, and eventually they'll start bringing up what Larry just brought up and talking about, hey, you know, we could prevent having lockdowns and quarantines and all this other stuff if AI has access on.
And they probably gonna take this video down because I thought I was past the part when he was talking all this other stuff. But, you know, that's how they do it, man. They're very biased against us. But everybody else is allowed to speak on this, but we can't. I'm noticing I can't even say certain words on the comment board without them messing with my page. But yet I can see all types of niggas and MFers and FUs and BITCHs coming from other people's channels. But the minute I try to cuss a demon out, then they, you're cyberbullying. You got to be in 24-hour timeout. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the hell? So, it's wild. But anyway.
Underneath your skin. Because you'll be able to do all these things that you could do with the Fitbit, just more. You'll be able to track not just your heart rate and your steps. We'll be able to track your white blood cell count, your red blood cell count, any pathogens that might be in your body, any cancer that could be in there. This will be able to detect it for you. You'll be having your own personal doctor inside of your body. And that's ultimately what they're getting at when they talk about AI healthcare, is that AI is inside of you, changing your genetic code and what it means to be a human. This is called under the skin.
That was all it was about in 2020. That was the pump fake, man. Okay. So anyway, it says here, they encourage themselves in an evil matter in a commune of laying snares privately, and they say, who shall see them? Yeah. It says they search on it. And we was telling people this. People didn't even listen. They was looking at us like, man, y'all tripping. Like, y'all bugged out. Like, people really thought we was crazy, man. You know, y'all see theories and all this other shit. But now, hey, it ain't fun when a rabbit got the gun, is it? Because all you niggas that try to debunk it and denied it, you were going to be caught out there in limbo because you ain't going to know whether to take it or not.
Surveillance, and they're not hiding it.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometrics.
And this guy's the devil.
If we want to stop this epidemic,
this dude,
we need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin, their body temperature. Like we walked in here, we had to go through a body temperature test. No, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian machines, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. The biometric sensor. It's the thing, it's the gadget, it's the technology that converts biological data into digital data that can be analyzed by computers. And having the ability to really monitor people under the skin, this is the biggest game changer of all. With this kind of surveillance, I mean, you watch the big president, the big leader, gives a speech on television. The television could be monitoring you and knowing whether you're angry or not, just by...
See, the smart TV, man. I mean, that's why when the first concept of the smart TV, they had cameras on them shits. People was covering them up because them shits was spying on them, talking to them, you know, like your whole cell phone. They know when you talking in your dream. They know when you pooting in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? They know all types of shit, like how you pop your woman. You know what I'm saying? They know what you like, what you don't like. This is why they have these pre-programmed algorithms on these phones. Sometimes I can think about stuff and all of a sudden it'll pop up on the phone. Oh, I like that particular food. I like that type of gym shoe. Oh, I like that kind of woman. You know, this motherfucker pop up, man. And sooner or later, the motherfucker's gonna knock at your door with what you want.
Analyzing the cues, the biological cues coming from your body. So, you know, people are now watching us online, all over the world. This conversation. Now, maybe even right now, the people who are watching us are being watched and analyzed. And, you know, the thing is, it's not just you're now watching this. The thing is, we know that you're watching this, and we also know how you feel. Are you angry about what you hear? Are you frightened? Are you bored? This is the kind of power that Stalin didn't have. You know, when Stalin gave a speech, everybody, of course, clapped their hand and smiled. Now, how do you know what they really think about Stalin? It's very difficult.
This dude got to be stopped,
Are
bro.
you bold?
This man is.
This is the kind of
This
power.
dude is trying to. This dude is trying to play the Most High, man. He has to be stopped. All right. He has to be stopped. He's trying to basically play the Most High, trying to outshine Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Let's see how that's gonna work for this Edomite, man. Because the Lord coming back with vengeance. Because this is wickedness. You know, you got all the world's wealth, the power, and yet you just want to fuck with people just for the fun of it. Well, this is the book of Thessalonians 2, 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'm gonna start at verses let's start at verses 4. It says, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. That's this devil, or that is worshipped, so that he is the power sitting in a temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is God. And this is Esau saying, I'm the Most High now. Bow down to me. Come and get it from me. This dude has a God complex out this world, man. All right? Because it's all about the birthright.
Power that Stalin didn't have. You know, when Stalin gave a speech, everybody, of course, clapped their hand and smiled. Now, how do you know what they really think about Stalin? It's very difficult. You can't have a KGB agent following everybody all the time. Even if you do it, he's just watching your outside behavior. He doesn't really know what's happening in your mind. But in 10 years, the future Stalins of the 21st century, they could be watching the minds, the brains of all the population all the time. And also they will have the computing power to analyze all that. You know, it's not just having an agent following everybody all the time. The agent in Stalin's days writes a paper report, and you have these millions of paper reports piling up in Moscow. Somebody needs to read them, to analyze them. That's impossible. Now you don't need human agents. You don't need human analyzers. You just have a lot of sensors and an AI which analyzes it. And that's it. You have the worst totalitarian regime in history. And COVID is important because COVID legitimizes some of the crucial steps, even in democratic countries.
The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially...
Hence the M to the N to the R to you know what. Basically, they want to link you up to the Internet of Things. And they started that by the ordeal of 2020, 2021, when a lot of you idiots went out there and basically gave them your hand, so to speak.
A lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point when you know me better than I know myself. And once you reach that point, and we are very close to that point, then democracy, the free market, as we have, and actually all political systems, also authoritarian regimes, we have no idea what happens once you pass that point. Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough. And nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. Data might enable human elites to do something even...
So basically they want to create you in their image. All right, matter of fact, let's do this. Because we know that the Israelite man is made in the image of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Genesis 2. And I'm going to start at verses. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it here. 1:26. Should have known that. Genesis 1:26, and the power said, let us make man in our image. Okay, and this word image doesn't necessarily mean a visage or a mirror image. It's talking about a particular spirit, okay, a particular ordeal that the Most High has put in the men of the Lord in Israel, man, all right? Because when you go into the book of the Apocrypha, it tells us that the Most High has made man to be an image of his own immortality, man, okay, meaning omnipotent. So the Israelite man will be omnipotent in the kingdom of heaven. And this devil, man, he's trying to steal it from us by putting his DNA, by putting his blood on us, man, to make us in his image. Okay, he's basically trying to recreate he's rewriting the story, man. That's what he's trying to do, and that's what this is all about. Okay, him making man in his image. As it tells us in Psalms, I think it's 139 and 140, that King David, basically he said that he was basically made he was basically specially made by Yahweh Shem Shai. We each, every last one of us, we have our own special genetic makeup that the Most High has put in each individual, man. Okay, nobody's genetic makeup is the same. Even twins, they don't have the same DNA. Okay, even though they look similar and they have similar ordeal, but they're not. They're two different spirits, man. Even though they look alike, look just alike, but two different spirits in them. Only a God can do that, man. But look at this devil trying to be the Most High. All right, but I'm gonna get one more precept and I'm gonna end it and let it play out for a couple of minutes. I'm actually gotta dip out here, but this is the book of Revelation 13, and I'm gonna start at verses 15. And it says, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast, and that's this whole technocratic system, this whole digital NWO. This is the foundation of the NWO. Okay, this is what Esau was doing. This is the revival of the Roman Empire, all right, known as the last leg of the Roman Empire, which is led by the Edomites, the biblical Edomites, the so-called white man. And it says to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak, and it's going to speak through this system. And it's already speaking. And it says here, and calls that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, now they go into it. If you don't want to opt into it, then they'll do away with you. Prisons, federal prisons, off-grid prisons, decapitations, gas chambers, firing squads, and sometimes they'll just leave you and starve you out. Okay, which is a very common thing. And it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, in Demolition Man, they showed you those that did not opt into Cocteau's New World Order, they had to live underground, and they called them ominous scraps, because they basically feast on the food and the scraps of the living and the people that's well off. And that's how we're going to be. The scriptures say when these evils come, be even as pilgrims on the earth. So it's coming to a time, Akim, that we're going to have to totally detach from the society and go off pure faith. All right, so that time is coming. So, you know, you brothers out there, you few sisters that may watch, get your minds right, get your minds together, pray, fast, whatever you got to do, and be prepared, because this thing is coming up and it's coming quick. All right. So with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Lord's will, you are edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
Even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. These are the new driving forces of evolution. And at the same time, science may enable life after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds. Science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. So after 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are entering the era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. So does the data about my DNA, my brain, my body, my life, does it belong to me or to some corporation or to the government or perhaps to the human collective? Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over. That's over. Today, we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. Yeah, I mean, everything is being digitalized. Everything is being monitored. In this time of crisis, you have to follow science. It's often said that you should never allow a good crisis to go to waste, because a crisis is an opportunity to also do good reforms that in normal times people will never agree to. But in a crisis, you see, we have no chance. So let's do it.
Vaccine won't help us go
the
to
vaccine
the test, of course.
will help us, of course. It will make things, you know, more manageable. Surveillance. People could look back in 100 years and identify the coronavirus epidemic as the moment when a new regime of surveillance took over, especially surveillance under the skin, which I think is maybe the most important development of the 21st century, is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data, analyze it, and understand people better than they understand themselves. This, I believe, is maybe the most important event of the 21st century.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing, it changes you. If you take genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And offers certain kinds of possibilities that have to be careful about. You know, when you began to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you are changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. Of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications. And we have to be prepared for it, and that's what we want to do in Davos next year. So this fourth industrial revolution is, it doesn't change what you are doing, it changes you. If you take genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changed.
Everything went digital, right? Right out of his own mouth, Yuval Harari. I discussed that, how that was part of the transition of everything that happened. People don't even realize that people gave up going and seeing their family members for holidays. Not that those are do-all, end-all events, but that's how much control the government had over people's minds, telling them they couldn't leave their home. Grandma's dying, can't go see her at the hospital. You're too much of a risk. You're not allowed in there. They won't let you in. But you could FaceTime with grandma. And people were angry for 5 minutes. Then they FaceTime. Then they did it again and again and again for months and months on end. And they got so conditioned into doing it that now, years later, the majority of people are doing FaceTime calls instead of actually going and seeing people, imprisoning themselves in their home, right? No different than a prisoner who gets a visitor that comes to see them in jail. And what do they get to do? Well, they can't hug them, they can't touch them, they can see them through a wall, right? No different than with your phone. Again, turning your home into a prison, turning your life into this digital prison hell that they have planned. And they ultimately want to get under your skin. This is about under the skin surveillance. And people will be more likely, once they hear stories about cancer being detected, early stages, being cured, personalized vaccines, they will give in. Because cancer, the purpose that it served as far as psychologically over the last 20 years is that the difference between it and COVID, let's just say, is that a lot of people didn't believe COVID existed, right? A lot of people didn't take what the government was feeding them. So some people were skeptical, saying, I'm not going to get it just based on that, not because they were just anti-getting a vax. Well, with cancer, everybody knows somebody who's had cancer. Everybody knows somebody who's been affected by cancer, right? This is something that we can look at and say, well, it's a real thing. Now, of course, nobody asks why cancer exists, even though it should be easy to figure out when you look at the soft metals that they dump on us and dump in our food, right? But people will be more likely and fearful of actually getting cancer. And of course, we could all look at the misdiagnoses that humans give to these patients when they actually have tumors, etc., so that they end up on chemo and so on and so forth. And many, like what the doctor said, in time,
this to go to waste.